Stabilize our connection.
What's with my videos?
Please wait
Like
as
you said,
Australia figures out that I exist.
While
you mean,
Telstra loads my internet payload and
you mean,
bandwidth.
please waiting for our replacement phone modem.
Please wait till 2033.
But, you got copper to the node though. I mean, nothing to worry about. That's what the government said. Not
Yep,
trying
they
to be
also said
sarcastic or
people
anything.
wouldn't run out of power, and then 4 towns ran out of power.
Yeah, but that's their fault because they take long showers and use air conditioning.
Fair point.
No,
I
I'm
like a
just
good
blaming the
shower.
government.
I take suspiciously
Wait, they
long
were
hot
using air
ones.
conditioning in winter?
Well, because people here have reverse cycle air conditioning where it also heats. Because people
Oh,
can't live
what?
without a freaking heater in the warmest winter on Earth.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I don't
apparently.
use a heater through the whole summer, winter here. It's a joke. Bloody wuss. I can
God
understand if
damn,
you're
I wish I had your
75.
guys' gas bill. That's all I can fucking say.
Our
Well, I
gas
don't have a
bill.
gas bill because my gas is free.
You don't wish you had mine. Mine costs me $500 every 3 months.
Mine costs me a can of red kidney
Yeah, that's
beans.
way better than here. All right, winter. There's like when it gets really
I
fucking
like the
cold in
Senate.
winter, our bill can go up to $200-300 every 2 weeks.
Fair point.
And it's American dollars
Have you
too.
played Far Cry 4 before? The Senate?
Canadian.
Unexplained gaming?
Sorry.
Okay, I
Once
do
again,
believe
wish our
we
money
are
was worth that much.
live. Just gonna do one more test. Sorry, DJ, we will move soon.
No, I'm jumping up and down because there's some Himalayan ants in my pants.
Himalayan ants in your pants. That's actually quite a. That in itself is a very funny statement. That's like
Yeah,
the
well,
word
ants
hoot.
in your pants in Australia is kind of a terrifying statement if you ask me. I've seen the types of ant colonies you guys have.
Oh yes. And you know which ones
There
are
we
the worst
go.
ants? We've
I
got the bullet ants that they've got one of the most painful bites in the world.
Yeah,
Right, but
not
we've also
bullet,
got these little
fire
tiny
ant.
black ants. We've got these little black ants. There's one species with a red dot on its back and the other with a green dot on its back. You get bitten by one of those, oh shit. Oh, does it hurt?
Yep, been there on
And,
my school oval in
and,
primary school.
and,
Damn, was
and
that
they're the
horrible.
strongest animal in the world because they lift 10 times their body weight, which is just absurd.
Yep. I have a lot of
Could you,
respect for ants. Those things are fucking nuts.
could you imagine that? I could lift up, what, 700 kilograms when I'm 70 kilos. That's just absurd. Well, I'm going to go outside and have a look at the sun. I've already stocked up.
Hi guys.
For sure.
Who said hello?
It's Nani Bearer.
Hello,
How's it going, Nani
Nana.
Bearer?
What up, bro?
I know. I forgot how to. Because now I'm used to the controls of Just Cause. I've forgotten how to.
Good
Planet,
and
planet,
you.
planet, planet, planet scans.
We're good, thanks, Nani Bearer.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's X to go up. Damn it!
Yeah,
I
and
forgot.
circle to go down.
Oh, I forgot. Bloody Just Cause.
Did you jump to your death?
No, but I was trying to get the
DJ, are you
helicopter
watching
started
what
by
I'm
pressing the
doing?
control.
Look what I'm
No,
doing to
because
your
I've got the
right.
helicopter. Oh, you're next to me. Are you trying to repair the
I'm
toilet?
burning your
Are you,
hand.
are you?
Yeah, hang
Are
on.
you standing or are you sitting in the seat?
I'm standing, there is no seat. Look, I'm burning your hand. Oh,
He's repairing your knuckles.
yes, exactly. The ironclad knuckles of doom.
Why am I catching fire?
Because I was repairing your hand, remember? I was using the
Oh, because as soon as I
blowtorch.
got off, I could see the fire symbol.
Yeah. Because technically you were on fire while flying. Whoever built this
Well, I've been
fence,
told
F
I'm
you.
good
That would be even worse, because then you're just rushing by fucking oxygen. There's a huge fuel source and oxygen and oh god.
No worries, I've seen it.
Although I guess if you're in the Himalayas, you're taking a lot of heat out.
Also, there's a lot less oxygen at that altitude.
But it's
my loot
purer.
bag is full.
Okay, I think I might start the podcast because I think things have stabilized. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Graz Turtle's Gaming Yakfest. You are live with us now for episode 5. Remember to ask us any questions you want to using the iPad interface, as someone will no doubt demonstrate now. I can see a message coming through. Yes, 90 Bearer, that was your cue. Thank you very much for commenting. And, yeah. So we hope you enjoyed today's podcast. Don't feel bad if you're joining us late or after we've been live. You just won't have the opportunity to interact with yours truly. Okay, so, guys, how have you been?
Well, I'm not choking on smoke today, so not bad.
So are the fires easing up in the Canadian hills?
No, there was, 28 started yesterday, which pushed us over 1,000.
Wow. It has been a fiery year.
What's that?
What you just used then, Chewie. So my iPad speaks to me on a very intellectual level. So, DJ, if you'd like
MS level, but okay.
DJ, if you'd like to take us to a more safe location so we can begin tonight's entertainment, I have something special planned for the podcast today. And Chewie, you're going to want to stick around for this.
Oh, what are you guys doing?
You'll see, 90 Bearer. I do need DJ to take me somewhere safer first. This isn't exactly a nice place for a gal of my
Sorry, man.
decor.
It's just that I'm still getting used to the controls again.
That's okay. Just make sure you land us in a base.
Grapple everywhere.
Madness. That's what they're doing. It's madness.
No, it won't be madness. What are you talking about?
Is this alright?
Yeah, this should do if you're happy to stand here for like half an hour.
No, not for half an hour.
Okay, well, find us a place you're happy to go to for half an hour.
There's a mission over there. If you want, fly there and I'll walk.
Oh, but I like madness.
Oh, don't worry, there'll be a fair amount of madness involved. Have you guys decided on a prize yet for the winner, or is it just for funds?
I think this time we'll do it for fun. And
Yep.
next time we will have a Death Star type meeting in the boardroom and
Okay, that sounds like
a
fun
fucking
in
prize for
itself.
next time. But without
I want a
choking.
Lamborghini when I win.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind one of those myself.
Channel.
Oh, DJ, we found a helicopter. There's a prize. Alright, anyway.
Perfect.
And with no further ado, I would like to introduce the new segment. Yeah, our new segment. That was professional. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Would You Rather Royale. Joining me tonight are our contestants. Joining me tonight as our contestants for the very first round are KushCoffeenGames and, of course, the DJ Graz himself. Okay, so I reckon we should.
This under protest.
No, you're not. You're quite happy to go along with this. So anyway, I reckon we should clarify the rules here a bit. So everyone's obviously familiar with Would You Rather. This version's a little bit different in that I ask the question and you guys have 30 seconds to consider your answers. Then, whoever gives me their answer and argues it best wins the point. So in the event you both choose the same answer, it's whoever has the best points. And when I say points, I mean arguments.
I protest this music.
To make sure there's less bias on my part, Anyway, to make sure there's less bias on my part...
I'm not familiar with Would You Rather.
Okay, we'll cover that in a second for you, Chewie. To make sure there's less bias on my part, LeBrug, also known as LeBrawn, will be helping me adjudicate the answers and keep track of the score. So, just in case... if you guys would all like to double introduce yourselves, Kush,
What up, now? KushCoffeenGames.
DJ,
This is DJ Graz Turtle 7 the Force, live from Sydney, Australia. And
LeBron?
as I said before, I'm doing...
Sorry, DJ, you keep going. You're doing what?
Nothing, that's alright.
We're so professional.
I'm still trying to figure out how he got the name of LeBron.
Oh, we'll clarify that in another exciting adventure. Anyway, and LeBrug, if you'd like to introduce yourself briefly.
Good evening, ladies and germs. I have the disinfectant
I
on stand.
continue to be chewy cookies. I refuse to stop.
And I am your host, German Turtle 05. Chewie, if you'd like, you actually have an invite to this party, so you can just join in the conversation and help us judge the answers. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so without further ado, I'd like to take us to our first question for the evening. Okay, so,
I would
Kush.
like one clarification. We are answering at separate times, right? Like DJ will go first and then me, or are we arguing at the same damn time?
No.
We're not uncivilized people. We're not in the
Well,
house
I
of
wanted to
representatives.
do, like, are we doing like a presidential debate, or are we doing like a dating game debate? You know what I mean?
No, it's more like a
Well,
dating
I'm
game
not gonna do it
debate.
that way. Sorry, but I just don't like it that way, Kush. Sorry, man. Don't take it personally, but yeah.
Guys,
Otherwise, yeah,
I
that's
will
what
clarify any and all rules, but I need time to answer here. You guys are the most exhausting game show contestants I've ever met. Alright, anyway, so, to address Chewy Cookies' question from earlier, if you don't know what Would You Rather is, it is a question where I say, would you rather, and then I make two massive points. So you'll understand as soon as I ask them the first question, but then after a 30-second timer, which you will be able to hear through the audio of my wonderful setup here, it's totally not my headsets playing into a microphone. I'll then ask Kush and DJ to reveal what their answer is, and then they get to have turns arguing it. So I'll say, Kush, you can go first this time, or DJ, you can go first this time.
What, you mean
and
this
then
is going to be a debate?
it is going to be a bit of a debate, yes. And LeBrug and I are going to choose...
Speaking,
You're excellent at speaking, don't worry. All you have to do is come up with a good point. It can be funny, it can be comedic, it can be whatever you want, okay? As long as it's sort of... As long as we can choose a winner. And if we can't choose a winner, we're going to refer to our live studio audience, in this case, Chewy Cookies Games. Okay, so... Are you guys ready? Kush, are you ready?
Yep.
DJ, are you ready?
I was born ready.
I was born ready.
Okay, you can't copy each other's statements like that. That is... No, I'm just kidding. You can have the same points, but again, your argument must be unique. Okay. So we'll start with a nice, easy one that doesn't touch on any touchy subjects whatsoever. Would you rather lose your sex organs forever or gain 200 pounds for the rest of your life? One more time. Would you rather lose or gain 200 pounds for the rest of your life? And start contemplating. Your time starts now.
You know what?
What?
That music really makes me want to fucking throttle you. Son of a bitch. What is this shit? What is this shit? What's this bloody music? Is this thinking pressure music, is it?
Yes.
From bloody Family Feud.
And you really should be using this time because you have about 5 seconds remaining.
How am I supposed to concentrate listening to that? Oh,
Alright, and time's up. Pens and paper down. Okay. Guys, I would like your answers. Let's start, since he's the host of this show, let's start with DJ Graz 007 The Force. Would you rather lose your sex organs forever or gain 200 pounds? Hold your debate for later. Just your answer.
I would definitely put on 200 pounds.
Okay, and Kush, your answer.
lose the sex organs forever.
Okay. So we have two very different answers there. Let us start the debate. Kush, you can debate first. Why would you like
Alright.
to lose your sex organs forever?
Alright, primarily for a couple of reasons. One, sex organs includes your dick, your asshole, that's all included. So, that being said, you can't shit, you can't piss. If you can live like that, that is the shit. Not having to go piss or shit is by far the biggest benefit, in my opinion. Plus, if you don't have an asshole, you can do pretty much whatever you want, go to prison, and you cannot get fucked.
Oh, that's a very good point. DJ, that one's hard to beat. What is your...
And you'll never be able to be claimed as a pedophile either.
Yeah, well, that's a fair point. Or a rapist, for that matter.
Well, I can see now that all my years of studying and reading have been completely wasted with all those valid arguments that have been put forward before me.
And all my years being on the good side of the law too. All I had to do was chop my penis off.
But you generally forget one thing though about the sex organs. That the sex organs is a major part of your own identity, right? So by losing them, I think what happens there is you sort of lose a lot of your what I would call your gender identity, and secondly, you're also foregoing any opportunity to enjoy the pleasures of life, because obviously in this debate I'm assuming that even though I have 200 pounds more weight, that I'm still functioning downstairs. Do you know what I mean? So, and I just think that would be too much to engage in what I would consider to be a form of self-medical mutilation, if you want to call it that way. I understand Kush's points about some of the convenience of not having it, but I've got to be honest with you, man. Once in a while, I'd be sorry to miss all those other opportunities when you guys can listen to me, having a leak in the bathroom and all that. I think that would be sad.
There is one hole in that argument.
Here's my slight counter argument to that. I would rather have an asshole I don't need to wipe than an asshole I can't even reach to wipe. You know what I'm saying?
Commander?
Yes.
So I don't mean to, don't laugh at me, but I've forgotten how to get this thing moving. I forgot which
With your left joystick. Usually you use the right hand, which is... Well, then put your gun away. Here, I have a solution. It moved then. Oh no, I'm on fire.
Transport. But yeah, look, I mean, obviously being 200 pounds overweight is pretty bad, because I don't know if you've seen that footage of, a couple of times when the paramedics have had to go visit someone in the house and they've been so big that they couldn't even fit through the doorway, so they've actually had to cut a hole in the wall to get them out, so they could get them to the hospital. And obviously that wouldn't be much fun, but jeez, man, I just couldn't live with the knowledge that basically the physical equipment that distinguishes me as a male is gone.
I have one question for you, DJ. What are your pro points? Welcome to the podcast, Chewy Cookies. You may introduce yourself.
A is for adventure. A is for arson.
A is for no asshole.
But yeah, DJ, so what are your pro points?
For not having...
So if I was to ask you why would you rather 200 pounds instead of no sex organs, what would your direct answer be?
I would rather deal with the medical problems of being that overweight than not having my sex organs there. I just couldn't do it.
Okay. And do you think you would still be sexually successful with the ladies when you had an extra 200 pounds?
Well, that would depend on the size of my bank account.
I
think
he misunderstood the types of pounds.
But I'm not I'm not talking about English pounds. I know that we're talking about weight, but what I'm saying is that if you have a look at Hollywood, there are some famous actors that are quite large men, right? same in England too, but because they have money or because they're famous or whatever, a lot of women like them, right? Because they're well off, and unfortunately that's just a fact of life. So if I was a very well off obese person, it really wouldn't make a difference, because if they're not willing to do it over, you know, over a scotch or a bourbon,
They're willing to do it over a stack of money.
I'm just saying that it's human nature for a lot of people to do that. Sorry, Commander.
Gold diggers!
I'm taking the sorry, I'm taking the supplies over there.
That's okay.
Going this way.
I didn't realise we were doing a supply mission. I'll try to keep up.
Yeah.
I will also add in, as an additional little piece to the benefit of not having any organs, you can drink as much as you want, you can do as many drugs as you want, and you never get the shits.
Yeah, but where
You
does
never
it
have
go?
to worry about mushroom shits, you never have to worry about beer shits, none of that shit. You
He
can eat
said
whatever you want.
sexual
You can have as
organ.
much Taco Bell as you want. Yeah, but your
He
ass
said
is still a
sexual-
sexual organ.
I'm pretty sure it's not. That's a digestive organ. That's part of your digestive.
Actually, it is.
No,
got a
it's
lot of
it's considered a
sexual
sexual organ,
happened
especially
to you?
considering
Did you
it
hit
leads to
something?
your fucking
Honestly, with-
prostate, which is
Okay, never mind. You're
So as well, I'm happy to accept the butthole as a sexual organ, especially in today's society. And also that
true.
argument was hilarious. LeBrug, we need to come to an adjudication here. I'm finding it very difficult. Excellent points on both teams. Chewy, feel free to help us judge as well. I don't know how much of the conversation you heard.
not enough.
Well, we've got 3 points to give out, and if somebody does get all 3 of us, they also get a bonus extra 2 points to round up a total of 5 points for a round.
In my opinion, having listened to the descriptions that each were given, I don't think either description really has covered the sort of points which would make it a palatable choice. However, Kush's arguments have a lot more real-world impact without taking into account the fact that, of course, if you can't piss and shit, where the fuck does the food go? And DJ's account has tried to remain very true and honest to what he understands about, you know, retaining the sexual organs, but hasn't really addressed the benefits of the 200 pounds. So I would be tempted to say 2 to Kush, 1 to DJ.
Okay.
The benefits of having 200 pounds.
No, it's too late. We're already making an adjudication. Sorry.
Yeah, DJ.
No, but I'm just trying to think that what benefits could there be to having 200 pounds?
Yeah, but you're the one that chose the answer,
for the
remember?
road
You're supposed to
maintenance
debate it.
You know, so they need a stand or something like that. But apart from that, I can't think of any use for it. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Oh dear. I need to turn that off. Anyway,
Oh, wait, what's that moose? What's that moose? He says 10 points from Gryffindor.
I just feel that after having heard both arguments are pretty weak. But Kush's had more positive than
yeah,
DJ's.
I agree. That's why I was trying to coax DJ into giving us some more positivity, but I think he chose a really difficult topic. So I'm actually going to go... I'm going to give my point to DJ. So are you giving your 1 point to Kush?
I'm giving my point to Kush.
And Chewy, you're the tiebreaker in this situation.
Wakarimasen!
Make up your mind.
Wakarimasen.
He
is
chooses
that like
himself.
weep grana weep nini-bang?
Japanese for I don't understand.
Who do you think had the better argument? Was it Kush and his idea that the removal of sexual organs from the body is a good thing? Or DJ, who felt that the removal of sexual organs was not a good thing?
Well, considering the fact that you need an anus, you also need somewhere to piss from. Otherwise, where does it go? So I'm gonna have to
Colon
say
bag.
DJ. I'm gonna have to give.
People don't poop. There's actual people like that, just like to clarify.
Yeah, catheters, colon bag, yeah. Those
Okay.
exist.
Okay, well,
Oh dear.
those are still almost certainly a pain to deal with.
But you don't have sexual organs, so you don't have to worry about turning chicks off.
Oh dear.
I considered that part too.
Considered, not argued. We can only judge by what you argue.
Exactly.
Ooh, federal.
Very well.
Oh, hang on. I don't think I can
How
go
many
up
points
there.
do I have to give out?
You just have one. We each have one to give out per round.
Okay. Thinking about this now. Okay, I guess Kush. He gives a
Kush.
stronger argument. It doesn't help that, DJ's somewhat, unenthusiastic about his argument.
Yeah, I think DJ, you need to choose more carefully in the next round. Oh, what? Sorry, I was heading towards the mission area. I don't know why we left it. I'm literally like 10 meters away from the door. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, mostly gentlemen, because this is a podcast on the internet. Your next question is... Oh dear, this one's a bit personal. Now, I'm assuming that I'm assuming that the author of this question... Why has my weapon magically changed? Okay, I'm assuming that the author of this question means your sexy cousin. Your sexy female cousin, in your case, guys. Alrighty, so... Would you rather have sex with your cousin in secret, or not have sex with your cousin, but everyone would think you did? So that one more time is... Would you rather have sex with your cousin in secret, or... not have sex with your cousin, but everyone think you did? And your time
sounds pretty...
and your time to ponder this starts now.
Not the music. No.
Careful, DJ, I can turn it up.
Oh, this is a good question.
Okay. Pens and paper down. Prepare your anuses and your brains for a great second answer. So last time we gave Kush the opportunity to argue first, DJ, that means you're up.
I can't remember now because of that noise of the can at the end of your song.
It's a good noise. You'll be interested to know.
Is it safe for me to be in the stream?
Yes, Darth Ma, you are most welcome to comment.
Oh, that's too much. That's too much. Alright, in answer to your question, right, I've given it a lot of consideration, and as far as I've got a couple of female cousins, right, and there is no way in the world that I could ever be intimate with a family member like that. It would be completely impossible. I would rather, right, people thinking that I did, and then I just look them straight in the eye when they accuse me. Just look them straight in the eye and they'll know the truth.
Particular reasoning?
Beg your pardon?
What's your particular reasoning for that?
Because if you're guilty of something like that, when someone looks at you, they can tell. You can tell when someone's bloody got something to hide or whatever, right? So if you've got nothing to be guilty about and you're confident in all that, then they won't believe those rumours, right? But the fact of the matter is that it's just not a good idea to to have intimate relations with members of your own family.
Okay.
So I'd rather be accused of the crime than actually commit it. That's what I'm trying to say.
When you're ready, just pass it on to Kush. So is that all the arguing you'd like to do?
Look, it wouldn't matter if my cousin looked like Ariana Grande. It wouldn't make any difference. If I know that I'm related, it's just not going to happen.
There's an enemy
So
card
I'd rather
chasing
go
you.
through the hassle of just belting up everybody that falsely accuses me and inflict a lot of pain on them until they stop doing it. That's what I would be doing.
But then they'd think it even more, but that's me.
Yeah, they could think it's even more sus then.
Not necessarily. You haven't seen when I lose my temper. I really lose my temper. If someone accuses me of something and it's false, I have a certain way of blowing up that makes the person realise that what they're accusing me of is in fact false. I'm just that type of person. So if someone was accused me something like that, they'd know within 10 seconds that
Take
it's
your
not
word.
true, and if they keep saying it, that something's going to break.
We need to move on to
See what I
Kush.
mean?
Yep. Alrighty,
So-
Kush, old boy, what's your answer?
Just fuck the cousin.
Oh,
get it over
he's gone
Like,
for the
seriously,
opposition.
constantly worrying about everybody. Instead, just fuck the sexy cousin. You don't even have to fuck her well. It's just a matter of you have to fuck her for the that kind of a situation. And if she's sexy, well, that makes a difference. And we didn't say exactly how close a cousins. Even if they're first cousins, though, there's still a pretty decent amount of genetic differentiation. All right, here's one thing that needs to be addressed, and this is why, generally speaking, even when people interbreed within their family, it doesn't cause any real hardcore genetic problems anymore. And that's because the gene pool has gotten drastically diverse over the last couple of 100 years. We are interbreeding with people on continents that we didn't even know existed 150 years ago. You know what I
Fair
mean?
points.
Like, we knew that they were there, but we didn't know what they looked like, we didn't know their culture, we didn't know any of that shit. So the gene pool is already drastically diverse. That being said, we're still not talking about making kids with this person. We're just talking about sex. And when it comes down to it, sex is just sex. That's how a prison fucking guy can rape some other dude, because it's just sex and it's a power thing. It has nothing to do with, like, it's really not that difficult for most human minds to be able to separate portions, you know what I mean, and to be able to deviate that way. That being said, the emotional, mental, and bullshit stress that you would have to deal with, having everybody else around you constantly saying that you're a cousin fucker and blah blah blah, that's gonna be way more detrimental to you, especially in the long run. Fucking your cousin one night when you're drunk or whatever and getting it over with and having it done, that's one thing. Having to deal with your boss, your family, your co-workers, everybody else thinking that you fucked your cousin is an entirely different story.
Sorry, DJ just committed suicide by jumping off a cliff.
Yeah, but hang on a sec. But what you're basically then saying is that because nobody else knows, that it doesn't matter. And what
I'm saying
is
because
that,
you're not making kids, and because when it comes right down to it, whether or not you love them, sex is just sex, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but then people that bloody force people to have sex or abuse children or whatever could make a similar argument. So where does it end? And what's the point of having a family unit if people
No,
start
that's
bloody
totally different.
carrying on like
That's
that? No,
we're
not really,
we're
because-
considering both parties consenting. At that point in time, it's a freedom thing. It's whatever the two people decide that they would like to do. When
Yeah,
it's
but it doesn't
rape
matter
or
whether they
sexual
consent or
assault,
not.
that's one party agreeing and the other party is not down for it. That's a completely different situation. Sex might
but
be
you're-
sex, but rape is entirely different. Sex is two people consensually mating, whereas rape is one person consensually mating and the other person taking it and not enjoying that. That's totally, yeah. I kind of get your point, but that's way too big of a generalization to make.
Well, I just think that any sexual contact with a family
Is
member
Crush
to
mentally
me is
challenged
extremely
because
unhealthy,
he is-
and the amount if it doesn't, it almost sounds like a form of voluntary abuse. So, because I don't think that in a family unit where you're supposed to have a certain amount of trust with your family
Have you
members,
ever watched Game of Thrones?
and then two of them are off for banging together like rabbit. Yeah, but Game of Thrones is a load of shit. It doesn't exist. It's not based on any reality whatsoever. And there are morons who actually quote great history assignments at uni and wonder why they get a big fail. Because that's stupid, because they think it's real and it's not. But I know that the families in Europe, the royal
it is
families
based
sometimes
off of
used to
old
give
shit.
cousins and that to each other, whatever, but then that's why they end up bloody looking like inbreds. Because they've been doing that for too many bloody centuries.
But once again,
Well,
we're
that's
not
what
talking about
happens.
anything to do with kids. We're just talking
Yeah, we're not
about
talking
sex.
about procreating
You're
here.
going way too far into it. That's why, just for me, like, if it's just down to do people think I fucked my cousin or did I fuck my cousin, I'd rather just fuck the cousin and get it over with. Just once, done, fucking gone, that's it. No kids, no marriage, no nothing like that. There is a very vast difference. What you're saying is you don't approve of people making a family when they're related. Not part of I'm not talking about that at all. But
Yes,
from a
whether
moral
you're doing it for
standpoint
the
and from
purposes
what's
of
going to
having children-
impact your life more, I definitely feel like having everybody think you fucked your cousin is worse than just fucking them and having nobody know.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, in an
It
extreme
is a secret
situation
you
like
have to
that,
live
if
with.
that had happened to me personally, right? Right, the way I would see it is that my entire family and all my friends can go and get stuffed, and I'd go move to another city and start all over again because I wouldn't put up with it, and I would not bloody look at that and go, oh, I'm just going to have a bonk, and then I won't worry about it after that because that's not that I could personally I couldn't do it that way, and it's just too much, right? One of my cousins, I'll tell you something, right? And this is serious now. One of my cousins is only a year younger than me. She's actually really, really hot, right? She's extremely attractive, and I noticed it straight away. But there's no way in hell, if she tried to kiss me or something like that, there is no way I would do it. Because like you said, Push, there's 7 billion people in the world, so if there's all these people that are available that you want to bonk with, why do you have to do it with your bloody cousin? What is that the best that people can do? So that's sort of the way I see it. And the other thing too, right, is you need a lot of genetic diversity anyway, because, and I know that we're not talking about having kids, but you've got to remember that having sex and the risk of having kids go together as well. What are you going to do if you guys have an accident, the condom breaks or whatever, and then she falls pregnant? So what do you do then? So then you've got to go through that
Modern
whole
technology
debate.
has advanced greatly, and as I said, that would be up to the that's not what we're discussing. That's not what's rather like would
I
you
would
rather is all
suggest
about.
we
I would like to
just
point
go
out
to
just
a
to
different
state.
question,
But
honestly.
yeah, I mean, if you really want an answer to that question, one, there's abortion. People might not like the choice, but it is still a choice, and we have advanced medically to that point for a specific reason. Two, as I've stated, with the mass amount of genetic diversity, your chances of having a mutant baby, even if you inbreed, is only about 16%.
Okay.
So,
I'm
we
going
can
to
move
cut
on.
us off there, guys. So, if you're
let's
just joining
just
us in the
try a different
stream, we
question.
are playing a Would You Rather Royale, where our contestants have to debate a choice that they make after a very pressurized 30 seconds. Now, I'm going to go ahead and give my point to DJ. I agree with playing it safe, so that's another one from me, DJ. Chewy, LeBrug, what are your adjudications?
Chewy, what do you think?
I'm thinking I don't want to be a part of this, considering the questions that are being asked.
If you had to make a
That's probably the
decision,
best
what
thing
would
we
you
heard in this
choose?
debate.
But that's the thing, I don't. I could just leave the party right now. You never know my choice.
Please choose.
From my point, it's a difficult one because what we've got is DJ arguing from a point of moral standpoint, and that's a valid and fair argument. There's nothing wrong with that. Whereas Kush is arguing from a more genetic and evolutionary standpoint, and again, there's nothing wrong with that either. However, Kush has got a few things slightly wrong in some of the facts that he's presented. Yes, there's a lot of genetic diversity these days, but also, if we're talking purely evolutionary genetics, there really isn't anything wrong, and there's very little chance of getting any sort of mutations by having sex with your own parents, let alone a cousin, which is the truth. That's actually been demonstrated scientifically that there is very little chance of that. The whole mythology of having mutations through close relationships in your own family is actually a bit of an old wives' tale. So on that point,
I will correct, it's not exactly a wives' tale, but it takes generations of inbreeding to truly have that type of an effect.
Yeah, yeah.
If you have a very narrow genetic diversity, if you inbreed with your family, you have a much higher chance of those mutations popping up. Such with the royal family having their anemia and shit.
With that, I do totally agree. And personally, I come from a lower moral standpoint. But I can understand where DJ's coming from. In this instance,
Sorry.
Because the original argument from Kush I felt was a little bit inaccurate in certain points, I'll be giving my point to DJ on that technical factor only.
Oh my god! Sorry, I'm
What?
just watching the people near... I forgot about this. The people near the arena just throwing the corpses into the river. I was just climbing up a grapple and I get to the top and I see these men swinging bodies down the cliff and I was like, ah!
Oh, that's what they were doing.
Why
Alrighty.
the fuck is he whispering?
Because he's LeBron. He gets to whisper. So, LeBron, you were giving your point to...
DJ on a technicality only.
Okay. And Chewie?
Like a true lawyer.
Thank you. Chewie wants to bow out.
That is the last time I do a wingsuit. That's it, man.
Fair enough. I'll discount Chewie's point from the last round, then he can rejoin later if he wants to. Alrighty, so as it stands right now, DJ is in the lead by 1 point due to Chewie dropping out. Alrighty, so this question's a little more mainstream, luckily for our contestants. So, are you both ready for your next question?
Yeah.
Fire away.
This is the Death Star pulling the trigger. Okay, so, would you rather have a head the size of a tennis ball or the size of a watermelon? Once again, would you rather have a head the size of a tennis ball or the size of a watermelon? And begin.
So many bloody conditions that would come with that.
Mm-hmm. Think about the hats you could or couldn't wear anymore. Things you could do with your ears.
I love my hats.
Brachiocephalia.
Beanies would be a problem.
Jesus.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, pens and paper down if you're playing along at home. Okay, so, last
Don't
time...
disagree with Chewie or else he will block you.
Okay, I need a moderator on my channel. Darth Maul needs a 300-second ban.
What happened?
Nothing at all. Just have to edit it out later. Okay, so, last time DJ went first. Kush, you are going first this time. Would you rather have a head the size of a tennis ball or the size of a watermelon?
I say tennis ball.
Okay, and
For a couple of reasons.
Yep, we'll
Okay,
list
go
all the
ahead,
reasons
DJ.
in a second. DJ,
DJ
what's your answer?
Well, actually, I'm tending to lean towards tennis ball as well. So,
Excellent.
since
See,
you
this
picked-
is what I wanted to see. So we have an agreement. Both parties seem to want a head the size of a tennis ball. Let's have a listen to the reasoning. Okay, so, as I was saying, Kush, you are first.
Well, for
to
one,
grab that
the size of
camera.
a tennis ball means that your eyes are going to be a little bit more like off center, which means you're going to be able to see a lot more. Like your field of view wouldn't just be 90 degrees anymore; it would be a much larger field of view. Whereas with a watermelon, if we assume that the shape is the same, you're not going to be able to see around you. Plus, size of the watermelon, you're going to get hit by a lot of things. You're going to have troubles walking through fucking doorways. Making out is going to be super awkward. I mean, at least with a tennis ball, you can get right into somebody's tits, and even the smallest tits, you're going to be able to motorboat. All right? Like, that's just a guarantee. You could have A cups, and with a tennis ball-sized face, you can motorboat that shit. On top of that, smaller mouth, which means you're going to be fucking basically drinking everything through a straw. So just, you know, food in a fucking smoothie form, which is pretty bitchin'. Plus, you add in the fact that, yeah, with the giant head, like, everything is awkward. Plus, that's more stress on your neck. Like, your neck would basically be crushed, because already our necks can barely support the fucking size of our skulls. Like, that's no bueno. Plus, if we once again assume that the shape is the same, you're going to be walking with your head swaying left to right. Like, you're going to be so fucking off balance. And with a tennis ball size head, you could be the best boxer in the world because nobody's going to be able to button chin you. You know what I mean? Like, you move an inch to the left, and every hit misses you. You'd be the new Muhammad Ali. And if we assume the rest of the body is the same size, like, holy fuck, you would just dummy people.
Wow. Good points all round, I've got to say. That was impressive. DJ.
Well, I think the first advantage of having a head the size of a tennis ball is that on the game Battlefront it'll make it extremely difficult for the opposition to get a headshot with the pulse cannons.
This is a gaming talk show
Yeah,
using the
obviously.
kudos points. Oh dear, there's a rhino
Yeah.
after
Yes.
me.
Yes,
Actually, I think he's
but
after
the
me.
pulse cannon does body shots.
That is true. Now, I think that
Cycler rifle, on the
advantage,
other hand.
just to extend further from Kush's point, I think one of the advantages of having a head the size of a tennis ball is that not only could you get it quite easily between your girlfriend's breasts, but it could possibly also you'd be able to sort of invent a new branch of gynecology. Anyway, and the second point I'd like to make
I
is
will
that
see that as a
least-
deterrent. Oh.
well, put it this way, Kush, at least you'd be able to always bounce back the next morning, being a tennis ball. Anyway, and the second point that I would make is that with the same body mass, and I think I agree with Kush on that one too, because of our like the way we're physically built, our brains and our skull is getting bigger, but our bodies are not necessarily keeping up. So we've even got the issue of where the whole issue with wisdom teeth is because our jaws are actually a little bit smaller than our ancestors hundreds of years ago. Do you know what I mean? So, so having a tennis ball head would mean less stress on your neck, on your back, and all that, and you could have more strength, upper body strength or whatever. If you have a watermelon, could you imagine how hard it would be to surf, to walk around in the bush?
Now, to be fair, one argument for the watermelon is with that much weight on your head, the fucking abs you would have could grate cheese. And the meanest headbutts in the world.
Those would be very mean headbutts.
Uh-oh.
Those would be like wall-shattering headbutts. You wouldn't be breaking bricks, you'd be breaking walls.
But it's just that having a head the size of a watermelon, it's just so impractical. Like you want to be like a sleek type of animal that, can, go into narrow crevices and whatever. If you have a head the size of a watermelon, the only place you can walk around with is on a football pitch. Without hitting your head on something, you know what I mean? Now, there is the issue then, is there an issue with, by having a head the size of a tennis ball, does that mean the smaller brain would mean that we would have developed at a different rate or a different capacity or whatever? Who knows?
Yeah, but we're not debating that right now.
Yeah.
I will state monkeys and fucking dolphins are both intelligent enough to make decisions and all of that shit. And they have brains that are smaller than ours, but are still capable of the same type of processes.
The size of a
Evolution
brain
is
does
what made our
not,
brains really
you know.
effective. It's not particularly the size of the brain.
Yeah, exactly.
It's how the
Dinosaurs had
neurons and the
brains
pathways are
far
arranged in
larger
our
than
brains.
ours. If I remember correctly. No, wait, never mind.
I'm actually really happy with this debate, because this one is just, like, so close. Adjudicating this one's going to be difficult.
Rank up. Sorry.
That's okay.
Well,
So are you both done arguing your points? Does anyone want to add anything?
Yep. I'm good.
Yeah, look, I just think in that situation, I just think it would be better to have a smaller head than a big one. If you
Okay.
got the resources, you would say, for example, glasses could be made a lot smaller, hats could be made a lot smaller.
You might actually pay
Teeth
more
would
for
be
the
smaller.
glasses.
Yeah,
Because
that's
you'd have
true.
to basically have, like, a dwarf do it.
Dwarf do it.
But
but
there's little
but
like
dwarf
quantum
clothing
garden
is already a
make your
thing.
fucking shit, you know what I mean?
Oh, come this way.
But yeah,
No,
you'd
no,
never
I'm
have to
almost
worry
killed a
about
rhino.
a shirt not fitting over your head. Might also be really difficult to find helmets. But
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
could
if you
use-
tuck, duck, and roll, you're definitely not gonna hit your head. You got about as much chance of that as trying to kick a chick in the clit.
Oh, I'm gonna have to edit that out later.
Oh my goodness.
Damn it.
Oh my goodness. The man
That's-
is on fire.
Oh, shit.
Okay, I think we'll, as they say in the American Court of Law, I think we've rested our cases. Would you agree, Kush?
Yeah, he's already agreed. Alright, LeBrug, you there?
Yeah, still here, just.
Do you feel this one's going to be a tricky one?
It could be.
Alright, so I'll start with mine. I really like the way DJ put everything into terms of real life. In the sense that, like, yes, you could do better headbutts with a watermelon, etc. But DJ sort of added, the downsizing on the glasses and the, all of that sort of stuff. And I think the fact that both of you went for motorboating as one of your first points is absolutely spectacular. So I'm going to give my point, and keep in mind it's incredibly close, but I'm going to give it to Kush. Now you're probably wondering why. I thought his answers were just fucking funny as. So you've got a point from me there, Kush.
I must admit, I was of a similar sort of split mind about it. I mean, Kush started off with a lot of enthusiasm, but he did focus primarily on the sexual side of things, rather than listing any sort of personal benefits. I do like the sexual benefits, there's no denying that, but DJ did embellish quite a lot more. It's a hard one to make, but I'm going with DJ on this one.
Yeah. Alrighty, so currently our scores are at Kush with 1.
No.
2.
3. I've got 3.
No,
Three
you
and
have at least-
I know at least
points.
2.
3 and 4.
I think you had at least 3. Did you forget to score from the other rounds?
No?
No, he would have. No,
You
Kush
must
would
be
have
dead
2.
too, because I can't see on
Kush
the
would
map
have 2.
anymore.
And DJ has 4.
Okay.
Yeah, because you both sided with DJ in the last one.
That's right.
Yeah, okay.
Alrighty. So, are our contestants ready for their next question?
Of course.
This one's a little
I
bit
can't
more
wait
thought-related, and actually it'll be very interesting to see what you guys say here, because both of you are from very different cultural backgrounds. Well, I say very different. I mean, it's Canada
Just one
versus
second while I
Australia.
explain what's going on to my girlfriend so she's not giving me that confused look.
Okay.
Commander?
Yes.
Oh, okay, no. I think he just spawned in. I'm just going to get this mask and then we're going to do another mission.
Cool.
Feel free to try and blow me up in the water, because I know you enjoy that.
Half of my pistol has disappeared, so this game is being as glitchy as ever.
Oh, what's going on here?
Do you see my pistol, DJ? Does it have a scope on your screen?
What the hell's going on with your gun? Stand still.
Dude, you're swimming through the ground. Oh, never mind. Yeah, but do you see it?
Stop. It's like someone has chopped off part of the...
It's a
of the
shotgun
pistol, so you can see
magnum.
Up to the barrel, yeah.
Alright, Darthmar, you have been unsilenced. Please try to make podcast-related comments. Okay, so... There's a demon fish down there.
There's a demon fish.
I got the demon fish. That is one toothy vagina.
Yeah, we've got to cross this bridge here, man. Oh, there's a tuk-tuk.
Oh no, I'm being attacked by another demon fish. Getting out. I'm getting out of the
Stick
pond.
your dick in it.
Alrighty. So, are you guys ready for your next question? You've both got yourselves sorted? You've explained to your missus? Alrighty.
Yep.
So,
Very
DJ,
question.
feel free to teleport me. Okay. So, would you rather have the best house in a shitty neighborhood or the worst house in a fancy neighborhood? So that question one more time is, would you rather have the best house in a shitty neighborhood or the worst house in a fancy neighborhood? And your time starts now.
This one seems a bit easier than the rest.
I agree, but it's still going to be interesting to see if there's any deviants. We'll try and make this one a quick one, because I have another 5 questions at least.
You may have just picked a topic that I can debate for hours.
Oh, goody.
Not a good idea.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of our contestants' time to decide on their answer. So last time DJ went first, so that means this time it is Kush's turn. So Kush, your answer please.
Wait, I went first last time.
Sorry about that. DJ, your answer please. Professional.
Well, this is going to be a tricky one for me because I've actually been in both situations.
I actually live in one of these situations right now.
Right, so I've been in a situation where I've lived in a very wealthy suburb, where we had one of the worst houses in the street. But I've also been in a situation where I've lived in a couple of shitty places when we were living outside of Sydney, and we were living in the best house, but we were surrounded by the absolute most feral people you could imagine. So, based on my own personal experience, I would actually have to say that I would prefer the crappy house in the wealthy neighbourhood.
Okay, and Kush? Oh.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I've lived in the hood. I've hung out with hood motherfuckers. No, absolutely not. I would not have the nicest house in the shittiest neighborhood. That is a one-way street to getting your ass robbed.
Alrighty. So, DJ, your arguments may continue.
Okay, basically it comes down to this, right? Your mood, friends about life, depends greatly on the company that you keep and the type of people you're around. So obviously your neighbourhood then becomes very, very important because, you know, your neighbours are physically around you. So, and you know, if there's a problem, you know, if their pipe is leaking water in your garden or whatever, you want to have some sort of a relationship with those people so that when there's a problem like that, you can deal with it civilised. You know, if you both, you know, decide to go halves and building a proper fence between your properties or whatever, when you live in a feral neighbourhood and you're well off, people just go out of their way to be rude to you. And I know from personal experience, minding my own business in my garden doing something and hearing the neighbour, they're saying things like, you know, you think you're better than fucking everyone else, why don't you go back where you come from or whatever. So I've been through all that shit, and there's no point living in a palace if then I've got to build Hadrian's Wall and the Great Wall of China around me, because I feel like that I'm in a hostile area. I feel like I'm living in some part of South Africa or something where I've got to have guards around me. Whatever, it's not worth it. And to follow her Kush's point, then you get that jealousy, and then people think that it's right to try and rip you off or take stuff off you or whatever, and it's just bullshit, right? So I really do think that the company you keep or your environment around you has a massive impact on your quality of life, and therefore for that reason, I would prefer the nicer neighbourhood. That's just for me. That personally is a no-brainer. As I said, I've experienced both. I've had both experiences. So yeah. I don't think I can add much more to it than that, really.
Okay, and Kush.
Well, I've never had the experience of living in a nice neighborhood with a shitty... I've never even really had the experience of living in a nice neighborhood. I'll be fucking completely honest. Like, I've lived middle class to low class my entire goddamn life. It sucks dick. I'm not proud of it, but that's how it is. But I can say that having hung out with the darker side of society, having fucking experienced the way that they think and all that shit, like, it wouldn't even be... Like, especially in my town, you know what I mean? Like, environment makes a big difference. If we're talking, like, L.A., you know, like, not even L.A., if we're talking Beverly Hills, having the having the nicest house in the worst neighborhood in Beverly Hills is really not going to be that big of a downside. But there's really not very many neighborhoods like that. And if you're living in a town like mine, or you're living in a shitty neighborhood, having all of that shit is going to make you the biggest target. You can have all the weapons you want, you can have all the security you want. Those motherfuckers will figure out a way to circumvent it. They will figure out a way to get to you. They will steal your shit. That is it's a fucking guarantee. If you're the only target there, guaranteed they're coming after you. On top of that, for my own personal preference, even in the event that I get YouTube famous, and even in the event that I start making money, a lot of it I'm going to give back, and a lot of it I might not use. If I'm spending money like a motherfucker, it's because I have a decent amount of money and I understand how economics works. It's not because I need all these fancy, shiny things. It's because if I'm sitting on the money that I'm making and I'm not spending it, it's stagnating. It is not being put back into circulation. So while having a shitty house might suck, you can still buy other things. Having a nice house, on the other hand, everything that you have went into that money, like, went into that house, and it stagnates there now until you decide to sell that house, and then you still have to do something with the money. By the time you sell that house, you'll probably be old, you'll be sitting on the money. So not only from an economic standpoint, from a social standpoint, definitely not. Plus, I'm not the type of person that likes to put myself higher than other people. Building the nicest house in the shittiest neighborhood is the ultimate way to look down on people. Being able to come out of your 3-story house, standing on your balcony, and literally looking down at the people who only have a 1-story shitball fucking crack shack for a house is not okay by me. I could never wake up in the morning, look myself in the mirror, and be okay with what I saw looking back at me for that. That would just, no, absolutely not. So, definitely take the shittiest house in the fucking best neighborhood. Plus, at that point in time, I always like being that wild card, that underdog, that unexpected force. I'd much rather be underestimated than overestimated.
Fair points. That was actually well argued for such a easy question. I mean, it was a unified answer, but I love that it delved into so many different domains there. I will add one thing. No one really considered the aspect of insurance. Like, if you get robbed and you have insurance in the worst neighborhood, you can still obviously get all your shit back, even if it's constantly stolen.
It's not the robbing that sucks, it's the whole home invasion process and what happens in the process of you getting robbed.
Yep.
Yeah.
That
Exactly.
sucks. It's the whole experience. It has nothing to do with your shit getting taken. I mean, personally, if somebody came in to rob me, I would fight them to the best of my abilities. I might not win, but I'm going to do as much damage as I can before I go down.
Yeah.
It's not about the shit, it's about the whole vibe of it, and if I'm gonna get fucking the shit kicked out of me for my shit, then I'm gonna make it worth I'm gonna make it worth it, you know? I'm gonna give them some work.
Okay, so...
They're gonna earn their pay.
LeBron?
And one could say that being a shitty house in a very rich area is its own form of insurance, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True. And also, it's not like you're doing badly, because you are still in a nice neighborhood, you know? You'll be considered one of the clan, even if you're considered, you know... But there's the other thing, like...
I debate that one too. If you were in Beverly Hills and you're in the shittiest house, you're not gonna be one of the clan.
Well,
You're gonna be
that's
looked
the
down
thing.
on.
That's the
Granted,
thing.
there's some people that are still nice and shit like that, but like if you've got a couple 100,000 compared to their millions, they're still gonna look at you, not poorly, but they're gonna look at you and be like, "Oh, that poor guy."
Yeah, but I'd rather be looked down at someone like that, saying you poor guy and that's the end of that, than in a rough neighbourhood where I have to bloody get a few stitches in my abdomen.
Hmm.
Well,
get a
and like,
baseball
look
bat
at
to the
that
head.
rich prick up there looking down on us. Fuck you, bud.
Yep. It's not nice when when your own push bike gets smashed on the back of your head because no one else has got the same type of bike. I can tell you what, mate.
Hmm.
Not a fun feeling at all. So, but you see, as an adult, you understand what's going on, but not when you're a kid. So, so I don't mind putting up with snobs because I know how to deal with people like that anyway. But yeah, Kush is absolutely right. It'd be insane to have a mansion in a really rough neighbourhood. No way.
Now,
I just
we
wouldn't
are
do it.
assuming it's a mansion. It could just be like a home with a double garage. Like a normal
It doesn't
home with a
matter.
double garage
If
where
it's
everyone
much
else
better
has
than
one
every other
garage.
house in the
Just
neighbourhood,
having
all the
the
other neighbours
nicest
will get the
house,
shits with you.
envy.
The neighbours will get the shits with you and they will fucking give you a hard time. They will do
Yeah.
it. I've seen it happen before. My mate built a house in Budgie up at the Central Coast. The neighbours were all nice to him while it was still a fibre shack. When it was finished, it was a nice dog brick house. Almost overnight, they all went feral on, started bloody making noise at night, knocking on the door 3 o'clock in the morning, and all the other shit. And it really
I've
pissed
sat
him
there and
off. But
listened
just
to
because he
people while
rebuilt
they
the
fucking
house, that they
decide
all
who they're
turn on
gonna
him
rob.
like that. Yeah, they just all turn on him like that. So some
Fucking
places
stupid
can be
headset.
real feral, man. People can be really nasty. You know, and he worked really hard for that too. It's not like that, you know. he robbed a bank or anything like that. He worked hard as a painter, had his own small business, and then had to put up with this shit. And I saw some of
I
it
debate
myself.
that one too. Granted, here's a little bit different, but there's a lot of motherfuckers here who have a lot of money and they didn't work for it. They just simply own a business and pay their employees a shit wage because they can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But that being said, that's the type of shit that makes you a target too. When you have way more money than people and people don't have money, that's a huge encouragement for that, and that's why I support having a decent minimum wage everywhere when it comes down to it, because Switzerland, any country like that, the biggest deterrent to crime is the fact that in a couple of months, you can afford whatever the fuck you want anyways. Well, maybe not whatever the fuck you want, but you know, like if you need a new TV, if you need a new water heater, in Switzerland, they pay you a good enough wage that you will be able to afford that within a reasonable amount of time, deterring you from wanting to steal from other people. Because why go to jail for 5 years for something that you could buy in 2 months? In my country, in my province, in my town, being that, you know, minimum wage is $10 an hour and living wage is $16.50, some of the shit that people steal, they're legit looking at 5.5 years before they can afford that shit. So what's the potential of serving 2.5 to 3 years in jail compared to actually working your balls off for 5 years to buy it?
That's a fair point,
Daniel.
When you weigh that on the scales, it's just like, potential to go to jail to get it right now? Work 5.5 years.
Alrighty, any last points we want to bring?
Nothing goes wrong in the process.
Any last points we want to bring up, guys? Because I have to cut it.
Nope.
I think I think we both covered it quite thoroughly.
Alright, LeBrug, this one's tricky.
Oh, sorry, hang on before I finish. Daniel, we're just clearing out posters and that at the moment. I'm going to do a mission shortly, alright? Sorry, we're just in the middle of the podcast, but we'll do a mission shortly. Alright, sorry, Commander. Just someone on the stream. I found it. There it is.
Alright, LeBrug, what do you reckon?
I'm gonna go with elocution over descriptive. Kush gets my point.
Okay. I'm confused about this one because I liked DJ's what was the sort of real life aspect to it, the dealing with your neighbors aspect to it. So I think I'm going to give my point to DJ.
Okay.
I don't have any weapons. I've had it with this.
Alrighty, guys. After DJ has finished fighting off the entire Royal Military, we'll be going on to our next question.
Did you see how I solved that problem?
Yes, I did see how you solved that. Oh, okay. This next one, I definitely expect some comedy involved, guys.
Nope, you're getting straight serious.
Alright, you
After
can do
that
that
last
as well.
question, the comedy's gone. It's dead.
I lost my sense of humour years ago.
I'm just waiting for this loading screen to end because it's got its own music in it and it would clash.
Are you still loading?
Okay, why are we loading again? Oh my god. DJ's just sending me through loading screen after loading screen. Oh, I've disconnected. Okay, DJ, you'll have to send me an invite. Alright, so gents. Yes, I'm doing that now. I was going to do that now. Yes. Professional. Okay, so here we go. Would you rather have no penis or 5 penises? That again was, would you rather have no penis or 5 penises? And your time starts now. Oh yeah, I forgot about the twat comment. Okay, gentlemen. I can't remember who went first last round. I think it was Kush, wasn't it? DJ. Okay, Kush, you're first this round. Alrighty, so...
5 penises because you never specified where the penises would be, and if I got to choose, it would be my hand.
Alright, stop there.
For a couple of reasons. I mean,
Stop there, stop there, stop there.
really big reason of you can cock slap people. Literally, you walk up and cock slap you, and not just with one, but with 5. Could you imagine the look on somebody's back with 5 dick prints, or their face with 5 dick prints? There's no way they are coming to fight you again. That's not all. I mean, how easy is it to jack off when you've got 5 dicks on your hand? I mean, literally, you just slip it into a chick's hand. Here, just hold my hand. I'm scared. I would personally buy a lifetime supply of fucking plane tickets and pretend like I'm terrified of the air. The younger I am when I can pull this off, the better. You know what I'm saying? And then I just gotta make sure that either the flight attendant or the chick that I'm sitting next to is really, really hot. If not, I have to pretend that my hand is just, I don't know, not there, broken, something. Also, it would be hilarious to be able to piss like the guy in Scary Movie and just like hold your finger up and piss.
Oh my god.
There's so many just huge advantages to having 5 dicks, especially if they're where your fingers are supposed to be.
Alrighty. Yeah, DJ, your answer? 5 or none?
Well, firstly, I would prefer 1 to 5. However, before I continue with my answer, I actually believe that the basic premise of your question is fundamentally flawed, and the reason why most men on this planet actually are equipped with 2 penises, the physical one between their legs and the metaphysical one that's coming off their forehead. But anyway, putting that aside, you think of this, right? You think of how distracted men are by their cock and by thinking about sex all the time. I'm pretty sure we would be living in the Star Wars universe right now if men had spent a bit more time inventing shit and less time with bloody affairs and sleeping around and pulling themselves and all the rest of it. Now, if you think how distracted we are with one dick, lifespan will probably only be 20 bloody years. We would wank ourselves to death. You know, you'd have to have menage a trois, because with 5 dicks and 2 hands, you need a chick with another 2 hands and then another chick. So we're going to be even more dependent on women than we already are. So we'll have to rewrite the marriage thing. Instead of voting about gay marriage, we're going to have to vote for fucking polygamous marriage. Because you don't need this harem just to service your 5 dicks. So to me, that sounds like a bloody nightmare. Isn't 1 wife enough? What, you want 3 or 4 wives? You have to have them? I mean, it's insane. Right? Secondly, where are all these dicks going to go? I mean, Kush makes a point. Are they going to be on the end of my fingers? That would be convenient, but the end of my elbow might be a bit awkward. Or do they come out my ears? Or what the fuck? Where am I going to put them all? Or they all spreading out
your ears!
Or they all spreading out at the same spot where the one is. What do I look like? One of those bloody Vishnu with the 10 arms or something? I mean, what the hell? I mean, I just could not think of how you would be able to live a normal life and be able to concentrate as a male having 5 penises. It just wouldn't work. The world would become an unproductive place.
I can counter most of DJ's points.
You think of the awkwardness of dating one chick. Imagine having to bloody talk to 2 or 3 of them, and they got different personalities. Oh man, it would drive me insane. 1 is enough to drive you insane. You'd be forced to have 2 or 3. Or what would happen is, or if you had 5, then you'd have to have a favourite, and then the other 4 would wither through lack of use.
Alright, so Kush, you want to start a debate here. You want to counter-argue some of DJ's
counters.
points.
Now, granted,
keeping in mind, if you do a counter-argument...
If you're pulling shockers with your hand, 1 finger is going to get a little bit lonely.
Yeah.
Alright, so I'll concede that. Also, after, you know, getting 5 off, I guess, you're going to be fairly tired. Gonna admit that one as well. However,
after getting 5
your brain
off.
your brain being controlled by your dick is not actually being controlled so much by your dick, it's being controlled by your testicles. Your testicles are where all the chemicals come from. That's where your brain really is when it comes to your dick. The dick is like the scapegoat. It's like your tongue that gets you in trouble. You know what I mean? You getting shit for your tongue? No, you're getting shit for the shit that's happening in your brain. It's the same situation. All right. Now, the other thing that I will point out, however, is
Andy.
with dicks on your fingers instead of dicks in your pants, it's so much easier to get off. You don't even have to worry about sex. I mean, literally, all it takes to get a handy is just to go up and grab some chick's hand. Shake it. Shake it a couple of times. Oh, yeah, no, it's great to meet you. You're my best friend. No, I'm not going to stop shaking. Just 2 more minutes. Just please, 2 more minutes. Yes, there we go. 2 more minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's ways around that situation. Also, if they were out in public, then it wouldn't be as, you know, oh my god, your dick's out, because your dick's always out.
Fair point, fair point. DJ, since Kush has had a counter-argument, you may also counter-argue. Would you like to use your lifeline?
Well, I'm just thinking that when you think of a lot of the issues that men have to go medically because of their penises, like certain cultures have got to be circumcised and that. Now, I wouldn't want to be circumcised 5 times in a row, would you? Secondly, I just think that, you know, you'd have to change the whole plumbing system because now you've got 5 penises urinating instead of 1. So I'm assuming that because you've got 5 penises that, you know, you're going to increase your food and drink and... Oh, you just hijacked a truck.
By accident, yeah. Back to your 5 penises.
Yeah, could you imagine having the type of pants you would have to wear, or and if, like Kush said, that they're located in different parts of the body, you know, you're going to have a completely whole new type of outfit. Oh my goodness, underpants on your elbows or whatever. It's just a nightmare. And the other thing too, do you know why the genitalia is located where it is? Because out of all the parts of the body, where it's currently located is the least exposed spot. That's why it's between your legs. Think if you had 5, how much more vulnerable you would be to getting kicked in the nuts or getting attacked down there, right? And if you had dicks on your elbows or on the side of your head, then that means now you've got 4 or 5 places where anyone can hit you and drop you instantly with you cringing down there like a little kid, you know? You see what I mean? So you're physically more vulnerable.
Well, he
by
did
having
say
that
dicks.
more
He
sense
didn't
of
say balls.
genitalia.
He
Yeah,
didn't say
I
the whole
think-
package. He did just say dicks. If your balls are in the
Yeah, I
same
know, but-
place, I'm fine with
Yeah,
having
I
dicks
know,
on the
but
hand.
Yeah, but getting kicked in the dick still bloody hurts, though. That's still an extreme.
Well, getting kicked in the finger still hurts. Hurts about as much as getting kicked in the dick.
I'd rather the finger than the dick, because
My
the
testicles are
finger's got a,
sensitive.
the finger's got a bone in it, but the penis doesn't. The penis is all that, what do you call it? Sort of
Cartilage.
veins and... Yeah.
It's just soft bone.
I feel like if your
Now,
dicks were
I
on your
have-
hand...
I have
your-
2 things to say. One is just a statement, and the other one is a question. One,
Okay.
shocker, or like just finger banging a chick would feel amazing for both of you. Alright? I'd just like to state, especially considering when you consider how good sex feels with 1 dick, 5 dicks has got to be sublime.
Bit of stretching there,
2,
right?
what's your defense for not having a dick, though? Like, I mean, I can definitely see benefits to having, like, 5 dicks, and I can see some benefits to not having a dick, but I can't see as many, like... That's why I chose the 5 dicks thing, because, like, I can see way more benefits to having 5 in terms of detrimental side effects, as opposed to just not having a dick at all.
That is true, DJ.
Especially
You
if you still
haven't
have your
covered
balls.
why
Like,
why you
ouch.
want no dicks.
Then you're exposed and you don't get no fun. That's no fun at all.
I didn't say no. The question was if you want 1 or 5.
No, it was 5 or none. As in N-O-N-E.
Yeah, 5 or none.
You gooses, I've been arguing the wrong thing the whole time. I thought you said 1 or none. You goose. You
No,
goose.
5
That's what
or
I'm
none.
arguing. 5 or none is in 0.
Yes,
Yeah,
as in
No
0.
dick at all.
No dick
I changed-
whatsoever. No jack flap. No pine tree in your
apologise,
Canada.
Your Honour, but I wish to change my plea to innocent. No, in that case I want 5. Screw that. No, in that case I want 5. I don't care if they're on the elbows, I don't care if they're on the sides of my feet and I have to learn to walk on my hands. I don't care. Screw that.
Changed his mind real quick.
Bloody
Oh,
oath it did.
damn.
Yeah, no way. Oh, sorry, Commander, I'm totally misunderstood. I thought you said one. I didn't realise you said none.
That's okay. Would you like a quick chance to re-argue, or would you like to forfeit your points? I mean, you did make some good arguments against 5.
Yeah.
But now you're going for 5, so we need some arguments for.
So what you suggest is maybe I should stick to the argument why I shouldn't have 5 rather than why...
Yeah, so
have
maybe
none.
just continue with none.
Can you guys not? This conversation is making me uncomfortable.
The next question is a bit less sex-orientated, so don't worry. The next question will be better.
A bit less.
No, like a lot less. Like,
Okay,
it's completely
okay.
neutral in regards to genitalia.
Fair
It's
enough.
already-
Fair enough.
It's already marked on the map.
So, DJ, how would you like to handle the situation?
What, with regards to having 5 or none?
Yes. No,
Oh,
you've
I thought
decided
we
you
were-
want 5, but I need some sort of an argument.
Well, I'd make most... Well, obviously having 5 would mean having 5 times the amount of fun, I suppose, but... That's pretty extreme, isn't it?
Yeah.
Having 1 or having none, or having 5, it's almost like a drought or a flood. One extreme or the other. So, I suppose I'd have to pick a flood, but only by the narrowest of margins.
Well, if you
They're
kick
up.
someone
Yeah,
in the nuts, the pain is actually collateral damage for my foot. Sorry if I am being a jerk, but I came into this stream to watch you play games, not hear you guys talk about fingering a hot girl.
Okay, fine.
To be fair, we didn't say anything about them being hot.
Yeah. We're not judging based on appearances at all. I will then follow DJ more precisely and we'll actually carry out a mission, maybe. Oh, I died. But yeah, DJ, start a mission up. Okay, well, I'm going to give DJ a pity point here because he's had the hardest time changing his opinion, but I think he genuinely made some good arguments against 5 before deciding that he wanted 5. LeBrug?
Well, I have an interesting
no.
story to tell in relation to
Okay.
this very thing. As a very young boy, I think it was grade 1 or grade 2, I was caught with a friend swinging in the swingers in the park just behind where I live by a bunch of, I don't know, high school year 8 kids. And they were being rather rude and nasty. And they asked us a question. How many dicks do you have?
Okay.
My friend immediately answered, 5. to which I replied, I don't know, I'll have to ask my dad. So, with that in mind, and having heard all the wonderful arguments put by Kush and by DJ, I'm actually thinking that in this sense, technically speaking, again, Kush was a little bit more technically, whether it was what DJ wanted or not, I felt his explanation was a little bit clumsy, so I'm going with Kush on this one.
Okay. Well done, Kush. Alrighty, guys, so to our next question, and excuse me here for one moment, Leia Organa. I will be getting back to the game momentarily. However, this is the podcast, and I will be editing these into a podcast later. This is the stream half of the podcast. Alrighty, guys, so your next question. Are you both ready, gents?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
So, question 7. Would you rather die saving 10,000 strangers from death, knowing no one would ever know it was you, or live knowing everyone would know you decided not to save 10,000 people's lives? So that's a very long, complicated one, and I'm being attacked by a wolf here. Just give me 1 second. So that question again is, would you rather die saving 10,000 strangers from death, knowing no one would ever know it was you, or live knowing everyone would know you decided not to save 10,000 people's lives? And your time starts now.
Hi, Turtle.
Hi, Chairman. Welcome to the stream. We're doing a podcast at the moment. Our contestants need to make a decision in this game of Would You Rather Royale. If you need an explanation of the rules, go back to the start of this stream. but it's pretty straightforward.
I would die.
And that's time up, guys. So last time, I believe, I'm probably going to get this wrong, but I think it was Kush that went first.
Yep.
Okay, good, I got it right. Turn to answer the question first. So, in short, would you rather die saving 10,000 strangers and no one knows it's you, or would you rather everybody knows that you refuse to save 10,000 people's lives?
Okay, well, the simple answer to that question, right, is that there was no way in the world that I would ever take the part of a coward in a situation like that. So as far as I'm concerned, if my sacrifice means that 10,000 people live, I don't care about whether they're aware of it or not, because that's not the point. Right, the point is that do you think that human life has a certain amount of
Fuck's
value
sake,
or
this
not?
music makes me want to throw myself out a window and get hit by a car.
Well, that was a good... That sort of interrupted my train of thought a little bit.
I would die.
Alrighty.
Because in other words, because how would you be able to live? How would you be able to live like that, knowing that that number of even one person that you could have saved that you didn't because you didn't really care. You know what I mean? Like it's not about whether people are aware of it or not. And plus 10,000 is quite a large number, isn't it? I mean, there's a lot of people in the Second World War that saved a lot of put their lives on the line, saved a lot of people, and they ended up copying it in the end, got no thanks for it, ended up in a camp or whatever, prison of war or whatever, but, you know, you can't turn your back on people that are, you know, that are in trouble, that are in mortal danger like that, do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's a definite answer. I couldn't live the life of a coward, couldn't live with myself or something like that.
Okay, now, is that your argument?
Well, there's one other point I want to make.
Mm-hmm.
If you believe there's nothing after death, then you don't really care whether anyone knows or not because you're already dead anyway.
Alrighty, and Kush.
I'll take the harder to defend answer. I'd let them die. Why?
Oh.
Because cash me outside, bitch. I mean, seriously, that bitch got famous for one stupid phrase on fucking Dr. Phil. And if 10,000 people hate you, well, you know what? Those haters are gonna spread the word that they hate you. And they're gonna tell 1 million people. And if you're gonna grow your YouTube channel, you may as well do it that way. Fuck the 10,000. You know, if those 10,000 get 100,000 to go visit your channel so that they can tell you that you're a piece of shit, that's still 110,000 visits in a month. On top of that, I can think of at least 10,000 people that deserve to die. We never said that these people were innocent. This could be, you know, prison colony Australia for all we know.
Yes, fair point, fair point.
So,
can I just say to my
all in
stream,
all, I mean...
what an epic shot that was. And DJ, did you actually understand how you died then?
Yeah, I fell off the, I tried to activate the parachute, but I didn't activate it in time and it just bounced off the ground.
No, that's not what happened. I shot you... Oh my god, look!
It's carrying that... It's carrying a... Look, and it's
Oh.
dropped it.
Just so you know, I shot you out of the sky with a bow and arrow. That's what actually happened. That's why your parachute didn't work.
On top of that, I'll point out that you don't get to cash in on your Paragon points unless you complete the
You're gonna
game,
be
and
one
that
of the
doesn't happen if
10,000.
you die, so...
There's a bear here somewhere. Oh! 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 Oh my god, that was close. No health left. Alrighty, so...
Can you do an outpost master with only throwing knives? A recurve bow and tackerdowns?
Is that a question or a request? I'm sure we can do an
Yeah, is
outpost
that
with just
Daniel-
throwing
is that-
knives.
Is that Daniel Edinburgh?
I don't care if no one
Because he
will
asked-
know
he asked me the
about
same
my
question. I asked us to do an outpost,
self-sacrifice.
and
I will be
bow
at
and
peace
arrow and
knowing I
takedowns.
saved those people. I would be the non-existing hero.
Okay.
Meh. There's 7.5 billion people in this world. At least 10,000 need to die.
And to put it further, to push that point a bit, actually, I will say that 10,000 people do die every day, and it's not a big deal. That being said,
10,000
I
people
think...
die due to cigarettes at least. I think it's actually like something like 100 and something thousand people die.
Yeah,
every
yeah,
month.
and you pay a business and give them profit to do that to you as well. That's the other thing.
Yeah, but hang on a minute. But the question that we're talking about
And what if you're one
is
of
whether you
them?
could do something
I
to
don't smoke.
prevent 10,000 people from dying. We're not having a debate about whether it is worth
Well,
to
then
save
you're dead, you don't
10,000
care.
people.
Yeah, that's true.
No, but what I'm saying is, it's hard to premise your answer by saying, well, actually, I would like 10,000 people to go, and I don't lift a finger and get away with it. And that decision is alright if I can pick those 10,000 people. So, you know, half of the North Korean government, and, you know, all the evil bosses and criminals of the last 200 years, but it doesn't work that way. You're saying, Commander, a random 10,000 people, like a sample of the population in Sydney or something like that. So, you know, it is true that, you know, a few thousand people die every year because of negligence in hospitals, because of car accidents, whatever, but you can't say that you would not lift up a finger if you could stop that from happening. If you could stop a bomb and kept going off that would kill 10,000 people, even if it blew you up instead. You can't tell me that you just go, oh, there's 7 billion people on the planet, so I don't worry about it, because remember this. If one of those 10,000 people happens to be your mother, father, wife or child, then you're going to change your mind if one of those 10,000 people you actually know them personally. And that's the point I'm making there. So
Excellent argument.
If we're going to do population
I will point out
control,
personally, I would probably save the 10,000 people, but I'm a cold, heartless bastard, and if my family or whatever was in it, well, I would accept that as just shit happens. I mean, regardless of what you do, they're gonna die at some point in time.
I'm sorry, what just happened in my... What? This car was upside down. Anyway, but yeah.
But yeah, I had to argue the other point just because, like, seriously, it had to be. Somebody had to.
Yeah. Well, I'm again torn because Kush went for the really difficult answer, and DJ hit a lot of, like, DJ nailed the counter argument. Like, he nailed my counter argument against the wall, basically.
Would you rather get $1 million?
No. Because that's only $1
What,
of
$1 million
millions.
to let the 10,000 die? That's a pretty good trade.
Okay.
Well, I mean, when you consider the cost of, like, the elements required to build a human, we're pretty goddamn cheap to manufacture, so, I mean, 10,000 is not that bad. Or, sorry, $1 million is really not that bad.
$1 billion.
I'd take the million.
Bicep with medium skin tone. Flexed bicep with medium skin tone.
I love how it has to differentiate the medium skin tone. What the fuck?
Bicep with medium skin tone.
Chewy, I need a mod.
Flexed bicep with medium
I'm
skin
getting it.
tone.
There we go. Alright, that person is banned. Goodbye, Quinn. Thank you for joining us, even though you're currently spamming a pornographic webcam on my YouTube channel. Cool. Right, so, I'm going to give DJ the point.
we'll liberate that bell tower.
Just because he nailed my counter-argument that I didn't think he was going to be able to.
I think DJ argued himself very well in that one.
Yeah. And look,
yeah.
Kush, you took on the hard one. You went for the comedy. It didn't pay off. I'm sorry, mate.
It's all good. I'll take the hard arguments. It's all for funsies anyways. I don't fucking care about
Yeah,
points.
exactly.
It's exactly like fucking Whose Line Is It Anyways?
In the car.
The game
In the
where
car.
we take points, but they don't mean a damn thing.
Yeah, yeah,
right.
exactly. No, hang on. The winner of tonight will get the Countdown Teapot. No, I'm joking. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are now up to the regular... Oh, the next question is absolutely horrific. For those of you who get a bit squeamish when you listen to a situation being described... Oh my god, there's a tuk-tuk. No, it's mine. Get away. Get away, it's my tuk-tuk. Damn it, I'm in the
For those
tuk-tuk.
of you who get squeamish when, oh, there's a tuk-tuk.
Charge! Okay, no, but anyway, if you get squeamish like me when someone describes a situation, there's another tuk-tuk! Oh my god, I'm bailing out! Sorry. When a situation is described to you in detail and it sounds painful, This next question may be a bit much, but I'm going to do it anyway. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here is your next question. So, would you rather peel all of your nails out of your fingers or pull all the teeth out of your mouth? Oh, I lost my tuk-tuk. That question again is, would you rather peel all your nails out of your fingers or pull all the teeth out of your mouth? Your time to decide starts now.
I tell you what, whoever sent these questions seriously need to see a shrink.
Believe it or not, these are a real online journal written by a real life person who gets paid to write these. Yeah, other services are available. Alrighty, so last time Kush went first, that means DJ's first this time.
DJ went first last time.
My apologies. Kush, you're going first this time.
Oh,
Professional.
Alright, I would go with the nails for multiple reasons. Unfortunately, you actually have more nails than teeth. Or actually, no, wait. No, it's 5 on one side, 8 on the... So you have more teeth than nails. So
Hang on. I have to pull you up there. I have to pull you up. It's pull nails out of your fingers.
Oh, out of just your fingers? I thought it was all nails.
No, just your fingers.
Okay, just your fingers, yeah. I mean, still, regardless, your nails grow back. You have less nerve endings on your fingertips. I'm personally a nail biter, so it probably hurt even less for me. Like, it really wouldn't be that bad. I mean, my fingers, if you look at them, are pretty fucking short as it is. Plus, on top of that, you can still accomplish a lot of shit without nails. You can't... There's things that you cannot do while you don't have teeth. So, for multiple reasons, not to mention the pain factor, and the heavy bleeding factor. I mean, you're gonna bleed out of your nails, but you are gonna bleed like a motherfucking sieve out of your mouth. And, considering it now, there's also the infection factor, because your mouth is a disgusting fucking cesspool, and your gums will probably get infected after your teeth have been ripped out to just remind you of what a poor decision you made. And your fingers, a little bit less likely unless you're wiping without toilet paper, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot more benefits to losing your fingernails versus just, like, your teeth. Like, no, fuck no. Absolutely would take the fingernail punishment first.
Okay. And DJ?
Quite frankly, I could think of much worse things than having all your teeth pulled out, and just imagine what it's like. You wouldn't be able to eat solid food, and unless you had artificial teeth, that's just a nightmare to look after. The nails, well, that would be excruciatingly painful as well, because you've got a lot of nerve endings on the tip of your fingers. Nevertheless, that would be nothing compared to having your teeth removed. So, I mean, a lot of the arguments that Kush made is correct, and I'd also add something else too. I mean, you'd look like one of those, I don't know if you see those old westerns, but you know how there's the old codger with the shotgun, and his mouth looks like it's sunk inside his face because he's got no teeth?
Yeah.
That's what you end up looking like without teeth. That's what happens, right? So, yeah, they're too extreme. They're too extreme, like because the pulley teeth one is just, yeah, it's just too extreme. So yeah,
I'd also like to state, it kind of comes back to that whole, like, joke about chicks and shit, and how, you know, like, being, like, having a kid obviously doesn't hurt as much as being kicked in the balls, because a guy doesn't ask to be kicked in the balls the second time, whereas a chick will have more than one kid frequently. Anyways, it's kind of the same situation. Like, I will not go to the dentist unless I absolutely need to. I'll bite my nails. I'll slam my fucking fingers into shit. I've had my fingers stuck in a door before. And while I wouldn't really choose to do it again, if it's a choice between even just going to the dentist and slamming my fucking finger in a door, I'm gonna go for the door.
Thanks, Daniel. We'll be putting the podcast onto iTunes one day, so it'll be like shorter, more bite-sized pieces. Yeah. But yeah, I agree, Kush. That's, yeah.
Already
actually, Nine Everest mentioned in my stream, he said he's had a nail removed and a tooth pulled, and personally he'd take the teeth.
Yeah, he just said I'd take the teeth, already look old. He's just wanting me to comment so he can argue with me. Oh, okay, people on my stream did just see me crack my nuts into the edge of a cliff. Wow, that's really hard to say. Cracked my nuts into the edge of a cliff. Okay, there we go.
It is interesting though, isn't it, that, just another point that you mentioned, Kush, about the mouth, that a doctor will actually tell you that there's more bacteria in a girl's mouth than downstairs.
Oh yeah.
Which is not something that you would
110%.
intuitively...
That being said, different types of bacteria. Just going to put that out there.
Well, of course.
Oh!
But the person's mouth does have a lot of bacteria. Are you in trouble?
No, it's okay. Just a rhino.
Fairy, kick someone's teeth out and take the money.
Take the money.
Kick someone's teeth out and take the money. Robbing the tooth fairy, that's good. I'm trying to follow you. Just keep getting sidetracked with all these extinct animals. They all need a good shot in the face in Kirat.
You sail past. It works differently a little bit in Far Cry 4 compared to Just Cause 3, doesn't it? That feels different.
Alrighty, Lebrug, would you like to pass an adjudication here?
It's a hard one.
It is a hard one.
Very hard one.
Get on.
I feel Kush argued it better.
I have to agree. The general level of the argument was definitely in Kush's favour on this one, but only very.
Sorry about that. Had to walk the moose.
Welcome back, Chewie. We're still doing our podcast. We're up to question 8. We've almost finished.
So yeah, I'm going with Kush, but it's by a whisker.
Yeah, likewise. So 2 points to Kush on that round. Well done, sir.
I'll take that happened.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for question 9. This is our second last question. So, this one refers to body dysmorphosis again, but happily I can say that there are no penile references or vaginal references in this question. So, men,
I'll make it happen.
would you rather have no arms or no legs? That question again is, would you rather have no arms or no legs? Your time to decide starts now.
This should be a no-brainer for anyone who actually thinks about it.
Yeah, but we're expecting comical answers too. I give points out for comedy and performance. So if you're choosing the wrong answer but you give an amazing explanation, I will give you the point.
Awesome.
Alright, that's it. Pens and paper down if you were using them. If you're playing at home, it's time to stop thinking. Alrighty.
No legs cause I can have a hot rod wheelchair.
That comment there from Game Uplet. No legs because I can have a hot rod wheelchair. DJ, I can't see you on the map. Just teleport me, it's fine. Okay, so last time we had DJ first, so this time it's Kush. I think.
No, Kush was first.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
You've been backwards the whole time.
Be with yourself.
Yeah, okay, Kush, you're up first.
No, I'm up first.
I just got that wrong again, didn't I?
Yeah.
Lebrug, would you care to tell me whoever's going first?
I think it's DJ.
Alright, dude, you're up first.
Alright, so basically, the short answer to that is I'd rather do without my legs. And the reason for that is very, very simple. What has distinguished us from every other living organism that has ever inhabited our planet is the way in which we use our hands. So there is no way in the world, as much as I would despise and dislike the hindrance to my mobility as a result of having no legs, even though there's ways to use technology to get around it. But having said all of that, I just couldn't do without my arms and without my hands, because our hands is what really makes us human more than anything. Any animal can run, you know, but hardly any creature on the planet can use their hands the way we do, you know. So, and obviously for personal reasons as well, because you want to be able to eat and dress on your own and that, which you can do with your hands. But if you don't have any hands, you need someone to help you with that. So you become a lot more dependent on someone else than you would if you were without legs. And then for personal reasons, sorry to say this, gentlemen, but I wouldn't want to have anyone else, you know, and this is really nice to deliver. If I was in the mood to relieve myself, I wouldn't want to be relying on someone else for that, now would I?
Fair point, fair
Pretty
point.
frustrating existence. You got detected, damn it.
Oh, sorry, I didn't realise we were sneaking.
I don't know, now we'll just get along. So
I did.
That's pretty much an argument in a nutshell.
Fair enough. Alright, Kush, it's your turn. I mean DJ.
Oh yeah, it's
No, I
definitely
meant
safe to lose
Kush.
the legs. There's a lot of reasons for it though. I mean, one, just the sense of touch is dulled in your feet because you walk on them. So being able to feel things pretty much immediately goes out the door. I mean, you can still feel things, and eventually your feet might get used to being the sensory organ that you use to feel things, but it's not the same. Next, your legs are constantly a giant worry. One, you have the largest bone in your body in your legs. If it breaks pretty much any way, it's going through your leg. On top of that, you also have the largest, most vulnerable fucking artery in your body in your leg, and if that gets pierced, you're dead in 10 minutes. So just not having legs is already a benefit. That's not even taking into account what the arms can do. Then there's defending yourself, which can be done with your legs, but is much easier to do with your hands. Especially considering the modern age that we live in, you don't even actually have to defend yourself, you can just carry a small concealed firearm. If you have the license, blah blah blah. Even if you don't, you just fucking carry it because you're a little badass. Whatever. You still have a much higher chance of defending yourself with arms versus legs. On top of that, who doesn't want somebody to wield them around all day, every day, just as a fucking thing? You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I can't get around, can you push me somewhere?
Oh, that's a misconception.
And then if
because
you
a lot of
take
these
it
people
even
can get
further,
around just fine.
especially, yeah, well, I'm saying fucking there's sarcasm
right.
included in that. My thing too is, especially when you get to be an older man and you're legless, oh honey, can you pick that up for me? You don't get that with you don't get that with the legs thing. I mean, if you have no arms, you can still say, can you pick that up for me, but it's not the same. You don't have that sitting down angle. So, I mean, there's plenty of benefits. Plus, you can't grab tits with your legs, or if you find a chick, like, that's another challenge. You gotta find a chick who's into feet. You know what I'm saying? Like, she has to be down for some feet. Plus, your legs is not your pelvis. That means you still have your dick, it's still there. Being able to beat your own meat is pretty beneficial. Couple of pity fucks every once in a while would be kind of nice too. And you could also be ridiculously hilarious with, like, no legs, a lot more so than with no arms. You know what I mean? Like, you can hide under somebody's fucking tire and look up at them and be like, oh my god, what did you do? But not, like, hide under their tire, you know what I mean? You just connect your torso. Or you could be that weird guy that's skateboarding down the road with just your arms. You know what I mean? Dressing up for Halloween would be way more entertaining.
You could be E.T.
Exactly.
Just add a couple stubby little feet to the bottom of your torso.
Halloween costumes. That's an excellent consideration. DJ, would you like to make any further points?
You fit in much smaller, compact spaces. You could hide in garbage cans or closets, and, like, literally, like, in the linen closet where you put your towels and shit and just pop out and scare the shit out of people.
And I mean from top to bottom. I mean, from the food that you eat to the type of lota you use to clean your butt, because it's all really
And you
necessary.
use a lot less food.
Okay.
I mean, you use your arms, but your legs is a huge amount of your body mass. And your muscle mass. And your
Brave
bone
men
mass.
don't look
So,
back.
get rid of all of that, and you need a lot less.
Oops. Damn it.
Also, I like the idea of maybe getting sponge bathed by a hot bitch one day, but I am not down to have my ass wiped by somebody else. And if you ain't got arms, you ain't wiping no asses.
Game much wet. Did you hear that comment, guys?
You get a plastic fin and suddenly you're a Little Mermaid.
I think we've got enough arguments there, Commander.
Mm-hmm.
I think the one benefit to having no arms is you could try and be Anakin Skywalker one day.
Oh, wow.
Well, the other
DJ.
thing about having no legs is that
Your
when you're at the
teacher,
pub,
your
after a
teacher
few
took
drinks,
your
well, the
phone,
bouncer
cell
comes
phone.
up to you and
Mine
says,
took
"Oh, you
my
better go,
arms
mate,
and
because
legs.
you're looking a little bit legless. You can just move the table and go, you're right, mate, I am legless."
Plus, it's really hard to fail a field sobriety test when you can't walk the line.
Yeah, exactly.
Hang on a
Try to do
minute.
handstand.
If you're doing a field sobriety test, why are you doing a field sobriety test if you have no
Well,
legs
he was
to
saying
drive?
at the bar. Well, you can still drive with your hand controls.
Oh, yeah, okay, fair enough.
There do exist, user interfaces for cars that are
Sorry,
they're solely.
They've become a common
hand-based.
enough thing.
Yeah.
just jump at the back of mine, man. Sorry.
Yeah, how do you deal
I didn't
with a
mean
guy
to
with
do
no
that
legs for
the other car
like a
that got
field
you.
sobriety test? You can't make him walk the line. Do you make him drag the line?
We don't actually...
Wheel the line. Make sure you
Oh.
can wheel in a straight line.
Because the wheels aren't friggin' calibrated or anything, no.
Alright, in the wheelchair.
I will say this, in Australia we don't walk the line. That's not a
Oh.
test, it's not official, it's a load of crap, because people have balance when they're drunk too. What is going on here? Oh my god! That guy jumped the moped. Oh, I shot him in the dick! He's definitely got none.
That guy needs
That was a
5
good
now.
shot.
He either needs 5 or none.
I just hit like 5
He
mines.
wanted
in the
5, he
luchador.
got none.
I think the most infamous 2 questions from tonight's podcast. Tonight's podcast have been: would you like 5 or 0 penises, and would you rather sleep with your cousin and everyone know about it, or and no one know about it, or never sleep with your cousin but everyone think you did? Those are the most sort of iffy questions from tonight, and I'm happily going to cut them out of the full-length podcast. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you were present...
The 5 dick one you gotta leave in there. That one was comedy gold. Alright,
Okay,
that
fine.
one, like the cousin fucker one, whatever. You can cut that one out. I don't care. But the other one has to be in there.
I like this merchant guy. He always talks to him, so I'm just going to hang with the merchant for a while.
I think we need to give some points, don't you think? Come on.
Yes, I agree. Oh, I just need to repair my hand here. So,
Your dickhand.
points. I think I'm going to go Kush for comedy.
I'm going to go Kush for technicality and comedy.
Ooh.
To the right spot.
See, I thought DJ's technicality and Kush's technicality were pretty much on par.
Follow me in the truck.
I thought you were... sorry, hang on, I need to fix this truck if I'm taking it.
I actually, with Kush, he actually pointed out about things like the lack of sensitivity in the feet and a lot of other factors on both sides why feet don't matter as much and why arms are more important. So on that point, I found the technicality of Kush's argument slightly
Fair
higher.
enough. I was just thinking more along the lines of when Kush took the professionalism out of it by bringing up, what was it again? I had it a second ago, literally. I'll circle back to it. But anyway, yeah, Kush, you definitely win that round.
I will say the one really shit thing about not having legs is there's no way to insert foot into ass.
Oh, you can do that metaphorically anytime anyway.
Also,
Yeah, but it's not the
also,
same
foot and
impact.
mouth.
also wheel in ass, I think that would hurt more.
Yeah. Also,
Especially if it's the whole wheel.
Yeah.
It'd just be the foot pedal.
Be raised about the difference between losing arms and losing legs is that the technology to replace legs is far less complicated than the technology to replace arms and hands.
Yeah. These legs are made for walking, and these legs are made for standing, and these legs are made for sitting.
Yeah.
Or you
That's
can give
whereas the
everyone the finger.
complexity of the hand.
Oh, I've got some really good, compelling questions. Have you... Oh, we're done here. Sorry, I thought I was still driving the truck. I was literally just...
No, it's done. No, just come on back up this. We'll go back to the spot.
Okay, so I'm going to give you guys a couple of options for the very last question. So I'm going to let you choose the topic for the last question. So the topics you can choose from are virginity, or death and life, or where is it? Knives versus penises for ligaments.
Oh, it's definitely got to be virginity.
And Kush, your vote?
No, I was gonna go the second one, but if DJ wants virginity, we can argue virginity.
Okay, have fun, and I'm sorry, Leia Organa, this does go into your house of cards of things you probably don't want to hear about. That truck is gone.
Well, depends. Are we talking like somebody else's virginity or our own?
Alrighty. So, gents, while I'm driving on the back of this moped, I will read out the last question and give you your timer. So...
Do you have to do the timer?
Yes, I do. The timer is absolutely necessary and it makes us whole. Make us whole again.
What happened there?
It makes me empty inside.
Ladies and gentlemen, question 10. The very last question of tonight's podcast. Would you rather be a virgin forever or have sex with your brother/sister just one time? That again was, would you rather be a virgin forever or have sex with your brother/sister one time? And your time starts now. Ha, tricked you, there is music. Haha.
Curse you! I will not stand for this!
You must stand for it. You have no control over it. Well, apart from leaving the
No,
party.
I am currently sitting. I am currently sitting. I am not standing for it.
Fair point. It is the national anthem of this podcast.
When was this voted on?
I hate that can.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that is the timer. Okay, so, last time LeBrug told us who went first, so he's going to do that again.
Wait, I thought that was LeBron James.
Just killed us both by accident, I'm sorry. Alright, LeBrug, who's going first?
I believe it is Kush, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, Kush, your turn. Would you rather have knives... Oh no, that's the wrong question. Would you rather be a virgin forever or have sex with your brother/sister just one time?
Alright, well, since I defended the other side the last time, I'll defend the flip side this time. So, one of the benefits of being a virgin, if you've ever seen Family Guy, is never thinking about sex means there's more room in your brain to think about money and how to make it and fuck over other people in the process. So, odds are if you stay a virgin the rest of your life, you're probably going to be richer than the rest of us. On top of that, you don't have the awkward conversation with your dad in the morning when you come out of your sister's room. I don't really see that as going so well, you know? No, that's just not going to happen very fucking... It could end poorly. Next, you also have to consider the fact that if you stay a virgin for your whole life, that constant wonder is going to propel you through life. I wonder what it's going to be like when I finally get to bone. I wonder what it's going to be like when I get to stick my dick in something other than a pie. You know what I'm saying? There's so many benefits to life when you constantly have that wonder pushing you through life, helping to guide you.
Virginity multiple times.
We'll circle back to that game, Uplet. But yeah, DJ?
You know what?
What?
Okay, the answer to that question is that if I have to go through my entire life, right, being a virgin, well, I'm sorry to say this, but my sister's going to have to wear a paper bag on her head.
Oh, so DJ is now...
Because there is no way in hell that I'll go through my life and not be able to be with a woman the way that I've been now, right? And so if it came down to something as extreme as that, because we're living in the middle of the desert or whatever, then I would have to take Kush's attitude from one of the questions earlier tonight and sort of say, well, what everybody else doesn't know is not really going to hurt them. Because it's too much of a sacrifice. It's too much of a sacrifice, right, to ask a male to completely live that life. Because you look what's happened to a lot of religions where people expect to be celibate, and how it makes half of them go nuts. They can't handle it. That's the whole problem with the issue in the Catholic Church. It's the whole celibacy thing, which is making them, you know, be involved in, you know, activities and that they shouldn't be, because they're not exposed to the same opportunities that you and I are, where they can't just go walk into a bar and talk to a girl, see what I mean? And yeah, I mean, Kush makes a point, and I said it before too, that we're probably much more advanced technologically if we weren't digging with our dicks half the time. But then on the other hand, what's the purpose of life if not to have a little bit of enjoyment? It's not just about efficiency and productivity and all that, because if it was just about efficiency and productivity, then that suggests that we're not human, we're not creatures with feelings, we're just machines. And we're not. So for that reason, I'd unfortunately have to undergo that minor inconvenience if after that it opened the floodgates of opportunity.
Well argued.
Of course, she'd have to be willing to go along with it too, though, because
Now,
if she wasn't willing to go along with it, then no way.
Yeah.
I have an addendum.
Surprised
I have
by that answer,
addendums.
weren't you?
I have addendums here
You were
because he did
surprised,
say
weren't
your
you?
brother or sister. What happens if you
No.
don't have a sister?
Ah.
What? And I have just a brother.
Yep.
Keeping in mind you'll still be a virgin if you don't do them.
Oh no, I couldn't do that. In that case then, if it was no way. In that case then, I'd rather take medication that meant that I had no sexual urge whatsoever. Either that, or I'd die off a building because I couldn't live like that.
Sorry to say,
No.
that medication doesn't exist.
Yeah.
That what?
I've
Actually, it
looked.
does.
It's
Wow.
called chemical castration. The prisons use it
Oh,
sometimes.
that-
They give it to pig. It doesn't
Yeah.
always work, but sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, just depends. But there have been
Well, I mean,
cases of where even men that have had castration performed with them, and then they still go and do what they were doing before anyway. It doesn't always mean that they can't function. I didn't know that. Did you know that some eunuchs, despite the fact that they couldn't have kids, were still able to perform? You know what a eunuch is, don't you?
I do, yes.
Yeah,
I
somebody
do.
who can't get it up.
It's a
Period.
person that's had their
Somebody
has
who
been
lacks
castrated.
balls.
It's like a castrati, right?
Well, a
But
eunuch
what I
was
didn't
originally
know-
somebody who couldn't get it up, and now it's just kind of a common term for somebody who's been chemically castrated, because at that point you're still a eunuch because you can't get it up. But there are people who exist who don't have any sexual drive at all, and they're
Oh,
known
yeah,
as
they're
eunuchs.
asexual.
They
yeah.
like legit. No, not even asexual. Asexuals don't have any sexual drive for people, but they can they can still be sexually turned on by themselves. They can still perform for themselves. A eunuch, doesn't matter how often you jerk that shit, it's not going to get stiff. Even if you take Viagra, it might chemically make you there, but you're not going to enjoy it.
No, but
You're
of course,
just you're
the
not
thing,
there.
But there are rare cases of where some eunuchs in China and in Persia and that, because I've read these accounts, occasionally one of the eunuchs actually could get it up, even they couldn't have, get it pregnant, but he could get it up, and the woman would keep it a secret so that their men didn't know. So apparently, even having your, I mean, not that I'd want to risk it, but apparently having your testicles removed does not necessarily guarantee that you can never get it up again, and I was really shocked to read that. Yeah.
Wow. Incredible points from both sides. Does anyone want to add any last turning points?
Yes, I think at the end of this podcast, I feel like having a shower and brushing myself with like a steel wool brush like they do when they come out of the nuclear plant.
I've just grinded my balls against a cliff edge again.
You died, didn't you?
Yeah.
We did too. Lucky. Yeah, no, I rest my case.
Okay.
You Kush?
Yeah, I'm good.
Oh. Damn it.
It wasn't the best topic to try and go on.
Yeah,
but
no, it was a
sometimes
tough one.
difficult, controversial ones are often come up with the most interesting answers and interesting points of view. Don't necessarily have to agree with them, but...
Well, let's add up the points, because if we have a tiebreaker on our hands, I've got another question prepared anyway. Alrighty.
I suspect
Not the dick and
he's
knives
picked
one.
me.
That one I'm just like, ugh.
LeBrug, I'm
The
having
other
trouble
one.
deciding.
I'm going to go with DJ mainly because Kush basically spoke a lot of bullshit.
Yeah, Kush was definitely the comedy that round.
Sorry guys for the lead, but it was a fun to watch this
I was
podcast.
expecting...
That's all good, Game Uplet. I'll be doing your topic later, so if you want to come back and watch the end of this podcast next time, we'll be talking about that, and also make sure you tune in next week. Alright, everybody say bye to Game Uplet. Bye, Game Uplet.
See,
Bye, Game Uplet!
Peace out.
Alrighty, so, yeah, I'm respawning now. See, the thing is, I thought DJ was all technicality and Kush was primarily comedy. And then Kush added a little bit of technicality, and then DJ added a little bit of comedy at the end as well. It was going to be such an easy decision for me until that moment. So, I'm being forced to go with Kush, purely because he made me laugh very hard, and let's be honest, I'm definitely not the technical one here. So, now we need to tally up the points. LeBrug, can you count up your points?
Where were we at, Crikey?
Did you just say crikey?
I think he did.
Yes, I did.
Yeah,
I
it's in
honestly
Australia.
didn't think that was a thing.
Yeah, in Australia.
See, here's the problem I've got. I've got a 9 all. But we did 10 questions.
Can't be. No, I have a feeling Kush got me by a point or two. I'm pretty sure of it.
No, I think on the last one, yeah, it's a hard, no, there's a question you missed out there somewhere.
Mm-hmm,
I
definitely.
think it's one of the latter ones where Kush took the lead.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I see the one. Yeah. Sorry, I missed a tally. Yeah, Kush wins by 1 point.
We can still do the other question. I'm down.
Would you like to do one more, DJ, just for the fun of it?
Yeah, why not?
And would you like it to be the penis/knives one?
What is that exactly? Don't tell me it's the splitting your dick in half thing again.
No, but ironically, this relates directly into what Kush was saying earlier about dicks on his hand. It's, I'll read you the question, but we're not doing this one, okay? But the question would have been, would you rather have knives for fingers or penises for fingers?
What?
Well, I think I've already answered that one. I mean, if I'm gonna cock slap people and shocker people, and, you know, like, yes, that would be, yeah, definitely would be my answer.
If I can
there.
add my 2 cents on this one, actually, I would go with knives. Purely because gardening would be so much fucking easier.
Yeah, but wiping
Yeah,
your
but
ass.
try drinking your morning coffee.
Try wiping your ass or shaking your
Ooh,
dick.
yeah.
I assume I've got a
You'd
knife-proof
never
metal
be able
butt,
to jack
though.
off again.
That being said, I don't think you'd need to jack off if your penis is with fingers, so
I
we've
mean,
covered
theoretically, you
this.
could get, like, the blade covers that are
you'd also
rubber.
have issues just,
And then it'd be
you
like a
know,
stranger
going
danger
to
thing.
the can or whatever.
Alrighty. Okay. Kush and DJ, are you both familiar with the following 2 people? Paris Hilton and Charlie Sheen.
Yes.
Of course.
Okay. This is a good way to end it, and I'm sorry to those celebrities if you are tuning in. Fat chance, but if you are, again, sorry.
Kardashian.
I'm
Both
not sorry.
of them have good senses of humor. I'm not worried.
Okay. I just killed 2 people in one shot. That was pretty impressive. And it was through a windshield. Anyway. So, gentlemen, for the winning point of 5 points for this point, and you get points by being the best point, would you rather be married to
Point
Paris
second.
Hilton or Charlie Sheen, taking into account that they are what you are attracted to? So, let's not just go with Paris Hilton because she's female, okay? Charlie Sheen could be female as a personality, and Paris Hilton could be male, depending on what you prefer. And I did say it was the last time, but unfortunately you guys have forced my hand here, so here we go. Your time starts now.
Help.
I'll help. Right.
No! 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 No!
How was that for help? Did I get the birds? What do you need help with? Here, have a medicine. Have some drugs. So, your time is up. What have you decided? I'll read the question to you one more time. Would you rather be married to Paris Hilton or Charlie Sheen, assuming you were attracted to both?
DJ's first on this one, I'm pretty sure.
DJ, you may begin.
Look, I have to be honest with you, right? If you look at his sex drive, got the same sex drive he has now, the same attitude, he'd be like the perfect woman because he's like wealthy, confident, but at the same time has a bit of a porn star streak.
Yeah.
And you can't ignore that. Whereas Paris Hilton was just too plasticky, and I don't think she'd be the same type of wild chick. Like, she's a wild chick, but I think she's a high maintenance. I want to be small wild chick, and then I'll put out for you a little bit. Whereas Charlie Sheen as a woman would be, riding you and handcuffing you, and able to slap around here and there, and probably would bring one of her friends home for a threesome and that, just because you're looking a little bit down from work or something like that. Because he's just that sort of person. Like, he just enjoys life to the full. And also, if you're into drugs, well, holy mackerel, he gets the best stuff in Hollywood. So, I know it might sound a bit surprising, but if I was a guy and Charlie Sheen was a man and I was a woman, I'd definitely go with him rather than be a man and go with Paris Hilton, for sure, because I just think that she's a lightweight compared to him in many respects.
Alright. And Kush, that brings us to your turn.
It'd be Paris Hilton.
Okay.
For lots of reasons. For tons of reasons. Alright, one, I've seen the porno video, okay? She's a giver, not a taker. Alright? Just like to state that out in the open right fucking now. Charlie Sheen's the type of crazy bitch to handcuff you to your fucking bed, steal your money, and go out for a night on the town. Even knowing that she has $3 million in the bank account. Just because Charlie Sheen's that type of crazy bitch. Like, if you were to put both of them on the hot crazy matrix, by far, Charlie Sheen is so far into the crazy spectrum of things, like, no. On top of that, comparing their drug tendencies, Charlie Sheen, more likely to die at the age of, 30, also more likely to age 40 years in the next 10.
Bit of
Paris
life insurance
Hilton, on the other hand, she
there.
might be high maintenance, but she takes care of herself. Even today, she looks pretty much the same as she did about 10 years ago, and that's something to say for a chick. Also, she wears plasticky items, and she's kind of dumb. But dumb people can learn. She's not stupid. She's not willfully ignorant. She has the potential to learn. So there's that teaching aspect, and the plastic is more on the outside. It's not like she has fake tits, she's got a fake ass. Like, she's real. She just likes to wear stupid, basic shit. Also taken into account
that having sex with Charlie Sheen would basically mean you're dead.
Well,
or whatever.
not really, but
sick rather.
He's referring to his positive test for, because he's got HIV, hasn't he?
Yeah, that's really not that bad. It was blown up way more than it should have been back in the day, and the FDA
really?
actually.
Okay, my bad.
The FDA actually approved the most toxic substance to ever be approved by the FDA for medical usage for the treatment of HIV. It was a population control measure because, generally speaking, it was the gay community, it was the undesirables that had it. So you give them something completely toxic that destroys their immune system, and then they have AIDS. AIDS, like HIV does not turn into AIDS. AIDS can be acquired through many different means, but basically what AIDS stands for, acquired immunodeficiency syndrome, that's what it stands for. It's a syndrome, not a disease. It's a way of saying that your immune system has fallen to a point where it can no longer replicate itself faster than it's being destroyed. But if you don't take care of yourself, you can get AIDS. Doesn't have to be drugs, doesn't have to be needles, doesn't have to be
Hold on a
sex.
second. Hold on a
Just
second.
being unhealthy can give you AIDS.
DJ, can you please
Yes.
come to where I am? There's something
Oh,
I
yeah,
have to
like-
show you.
On top of that, you also have Paris Hilton's dad, who is a Fortune 500 company owner, and if you get in good with him, maybe you can take over the company because she's kind of dumb. Charlie Sheen is the type of person to hold onto his money and just like hold on to his money. You know what I mean? That's his money. He made the money. That's
Look at
at
this.
least that way I would feel a little bit better too, because then I wouldn't be the sugar daddy, or not the sugar daddy, but you know, like she wouldn't be the sugar mommy in that sense. I wouldn't just be
Did you?
living off of
Do you see
her. I
it?
would potentially be making my own money by taking over the hotel business. There's a lot of benefits that I could see to the Paris Hilton taking over the Charlie Sheen thing.
Sorry, guys.
but I actually have to go, and the IRL friend is coming over.
Okay.
Fire lasts a long time.
See you, Chewie.
There.
Peace out, dude.
DJ, do you see this thing in front of me? Do you see the lorry?
Yes. Yeah.
The glitched out. Do you see that it's got no wheels?
What, this one coming by now?
What? No. This car isn't moving because it's... Oh dear.